chair of the Business Development Committee of the Nacogdoches Chamber, County Chamber of Commerce, and so thanks so much for being here today. Just wanted to do a quick welcome and kind of thank you to you all for being here, kind of give you a quick introduction of what we do in these series, and some of the services that are provided to chamber members as part of the County Chamber of Commerce. So first of all, we do have some sponsors tonight. I want to make sure I recognize. Presenting sponsor is Farmers State Bank and Stephanie Elswick. Stephanie's not here, I don't think.
She's not.
But they're our presenting sponsor tonight. Gold sponsor, Mary Frances Bradford from the Nacogdoches Economic Development Corporation. Mary Frances, hello. So thank you so much. Bronze sponsors are Mary Mopniak. Did I say that right?
Here she is, yeah.
With the Monuments Development Association.
Thank you. Good job.
Thank you, Jeff. And then also Sir Pro of Lufkin and Nacogdoches County. So thank you so much for our sponsors so much. Just wanted to do a quick intro because a lot of times my job, my profession is I'm a professor at SFA in the College of Business, and so I run classrooms and get people to talk and interact. And one thing that when you do these types of events, you don't always know who's in the room with you to kind of give you that background. So I'm going to do a little activity to kind of get us started. Something as business owners you probably have done many, many times, or if not, you will do many, many times, is give us your 1-minute elevator pitch. So kind of tell us who you are and what your business is, as if we're going up the elevator headed to our next meeting. So does anybody want to start us off, right or left? I guess.
I will.
Do it. There we go. 1 minute.
Hey, Cassandra.
Hi, I'm Cassandra Stokes. I'm a business advisor for the Small Business Development Center at Angelina College, where our mission is to help entrepreneurs just like you start, grow, succeed, thrive, and thrive.
All right. Rick, you got it? You got it? All right.
I'm Rick Gregg, publisher today, The Sentinel, with a helpful newspaper. We also provide a variety of other marketing and advertising operations we have, digital and things like that. But the biggest thing we do is provide news for the community to keep up with what's going on.
Awesome.
Hey, good afternoon. I'm Patrick Castillo, and I represent Serpro, Lufkin, Nacogdoches, Kilgore, and Longview. And I always like to tell everybody we're like a good defense attorney. I hope you never need me, but when you do, you want to come speed dial. We handle national disasters. We handle kids who mess around and goof up and flood half of the dorms at that. And we get the opportunity to partner with the chamber and other businesses like Mary here to sponsor stuff. And so thank you for having us. It was very fun, and we learn how to save some money and make some money and
So this guy's
do
good.
all that stuff, turn lead into gold, right? Bronze into gold.
And I'm not going to stand up because I'm older. I'm Mary Mopniak with the Piney Woods Apartment Association. What I do is network and help to train and participate with 8 counties around, 7 counties around Nacogdoches. So I'm in charge of any property that's rental, that whether it be a house or an apartment building or a duplex or whatever. If you're a member of the association, then I'll work with you to help your property succeed.
My name is Jeremy. I'm 49% owner of Hoss. We are Handyman Outdoor Service Solutions. We do pressure washing, junk removal, lawn care, gutter cleaning, and a few other assorted projects. And what we do is make your business or your home shine one project at a time.
Awesome.
I'm the 51% owner of Hoss. Like you said, we do junk removal and all that. Our demographic is like people in the 40s and older that either health issues, don't have time, whatever, to do projects around the house. We offer affordable prices in order to help them out with that. So,
I'm Chad Cezanne. I'm with Both Ways Financial and Independent Agents. We work to educate people, primarily families, trying to make sure they get a strong foundation so that they can live a little better life. And then we do education, and before we move ever talk to anything about a product. And everything we do
Good.
Hi, good evening. My name is Mabel Cannings. I have Charisma Events Management as well as creative and customized tours. I work with the Senior Citizens Center, Nacogdoches and Lufkin. And I also have another business which I call Rise Empowerment Center. And I create opportunities for entrepreneurs. We're working now on a, well, I'm say that. Can't have that. But at any rate, I'm semi-retired, so I do what I want to do.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah.
I'm Mary Frances Bradford, and I work for NEDCO, which is the Economic Development. And we have the opportunity to partner with organizations such as the Chamber and our community partners. And our job is to provide resources for businesses that if you want to start a business or to grow your business, however we can help you, and that's what we do.
My name is Erica Bennett, and I create active spaces for other individuals. I offer customized pieces like wood upholstery and woodwork. Basically do stuff like home decor, custom curtains, fabrics, headboards, and all the different stuff.
Awesome.
My name is Jennifer, and I own a franchise called Sarah Set, and it's kind of a made-up word of cerebellum and reset, and so it's a brain wellness program, and what a lot of people don't realize is that a balanced brain can actually heal itself from a lot of different things. You might see better sleep, better mood, better energy, much better thinking, and better ability to manage stress. And so once the brain is able to recognize where it might be stuck in different places, then it self-corrects. So it's not really doing anything to the brain other than letting the brain notice itself, and then the rest will fall into place naturally. And as a licensed professional counselor, I also own a counseling services, but that's not one. I own Sunrise Coaching and Counseling, but as a counselor my entire adult life, since like 1997, this has helped people a lot easier and faster than traditional counseling, and so that's kind of what drew me to it. It's mostly it's a national, international actually franchise. It's mostly in larger cities, and so being in a smaller town, I do have difficulty finding a way to get it out there and get people to understand what it is, because it does sound weird. And so the best thing to do is come for an introductory session. It lasts about an hour, and we'll talk about any goals that a person has. Any goals that a person has of how they want to feel better and how they want to be more balanced and have a more harmonized brain. We'll take 2 minutes baseline data of your brain and then see what's going on with that and see how Sarah Set can help you. But I even my client that just left, like she had an issue that she was dealing with. As someone who has been in counseling again my entire adult life, I've done nothing else. This helped her. I know for a fact this helped her more than like years of counseling would help her. And so think about trauma, especially us older people that we've been through a lot. We also have post-concussion protocols and post-COVID protocols. So again, the brain can do a lot of things once it realizes that the threat is over, and there's some places where it might be stuck, but it wants to rebalance, and that's what this helps with.
Awesome. So we're just doing a 1-minute elevator pitch. Do you want to start?
Okay, mine are long, sorry. No, you're fine. I thought, okay, let's keep it going around. So I'm Teresa Simon. I am native of Nacogdoches, and recently embarked on a different journey as far as a career. I was salaried with Walmart for almost 30 years, and that came to an end. It's time for relief, and I am having a little anxiety about that. So definitely being here is going to help me get better acclimated to being able to step out into something new, something different, and build it for myself as well as helping others. Because
it is in the financial field. So what they do teach us in this training that we do is that we are helping ourselves, but we're helping others, which helps ourselves, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Right, so we want to help ourselves be better prepared for our retirement, because again, being of the older persuasion, once we get there, we want to be able to enjoy it. But nowadays, most people have to go back to part-time somewhere in order to have somewhat of a life. And I want to make myself employed, and I have to do that, but also help others be able to acquire the same thing. So I am licensed in 3 states, but again, I'm still in that jewelry, brand new mode, and being in these business communities and all, I think it's going to be great help for me.
Awesome. So I think what you'll notice when you go around the room, and these are all kinds of events that we do with the County Chamber of Commerce, so I encourage you, if you're not a member, talk to us about it. Sherry is obviously our membership coordinator, can tell you all about what the membership benefits are. But these are the types of events that you get to know other businesses that are at different stages of their development. And so we learn from each other through these types of events. So that is really what the purpose of the business development series that we have throughout the year is to help you develop your business and learn more how to be more successful, because when you win, the whole community wins, and our chamber members are more successful. So, without further ado, I'm going to let Cassandra kind of give us an introduction to our topic today, and then get us started.
Sure. Thank you.
Well, today's topic, as you know, and you can read, revolves around getting your business finances in shape, or maybe just giving it like a tune-up, you know. Over the next about 45 minutes, our speaker will share habits that you can easily implement to help shape up your finances, and he'll give you strategies for improving your business overall financial fitness. I'm excited to introduce our experienced professional who will be sharing these best practices with us today, Trent Thomason. He is a management consultant for Communities Unlimited in Nacogdoches, right here on North Street, where he assists East Texas entrepreneurs to achieve their dreams of having successful, thriving businesses. He holds a Master of Business Administration in Finance from the University of Texas Basin, and has many years of experience as an owner of his own companies. A fun fact about Trent is that he speaks one of the world's most difficult languages to master, which is Mandarin.
Awesome.
So, please help me welcome Trent.
Thank you, Cassandra, and thank you, Jason, for that good introduction. The last time I did this was on Zoom, and so now I'm kind of having to readjust everybody in the room, but I'm sure this will be great. There's a couple ways that we can do this. The way we did it online was having people be very interactive. So when I ask some of these questions, you're free to, shout out real quick. I just ask that we be concise, and you don't want to, do a monologue or something like that. Just maybe, hey, this idea, or just quickly like that. So a little bit about our company. So I'm going to give you some framing before we jump into the financial fitness. I work for Communities Unlimited, and we are a CDFI. We have money from the Temple Foundation as well as some grants from the government, and we're able to come in and invest in our local communities and try to make a difference. Our goal is to move people people and communities out of poverty and into prosperity. So we're kind of similar to what Mabel was saying. We want people to rise. We want to help the local rural communities. We want to help the business owners. We want everybody in the community to thrive, because again, as businesses grow, creates more jobs, more money in the community, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm in the entrepreneurship division, and we work with small business owners. We do things like business plans. We do things like family budgets. We do some of the finance, loan readiness. We do problem solving, a lot of the stuff you see from typical consulting. So, today's intention, we're going to talk about practical strategies that can shape up your money situation. And something I think that's going to be very unique about today is comparing finance with fitness. And maybe you haven't seen that done before. I hope it's kind of a fresh way to look at it. So by the time you walk out of here, my goal is that you can be on your way to a six-pack if you want a six-pack, or you can be on your way to 7 figures or both. I mean, you know, either way, you're walking out of here with value, right? You're already rich, you're already doing well, maybe you want to be a little sexier. You're already real sexy, maybe you want to be richer. You got all of it going, hey, I want to be you. That's great. All right, so why did I choose fitness for the theme? Well, the reason that I wanted to make fitness the point of the talk is because that's how I learned about business. So if you see here, this is a 25-year-oldish version of me. Wish I was that age and that shape still, but hey, life goes on. And I started boot camp businesses. I did fitness training. Had a lot of success in that. My accountant was impressed, where, you know, a 25-year-old guy was able to do that. So it really taught me a lot, but I also made a lot of mistakes. I was too loose with credit. I was you know, paying experts that I shouldn't have paid. I should have been getting more of these free resources like we have here, and using that, utilizing that. So I made a lot of mistakes, but I did a lot of things right, and hopefully I can impart some of that wisdom to you guys today. Hard fought, hard knocks. And then here, this is me presenting Enlightened Eating. So I wrote a book while I was in China, and I discovered a lot of things about nutrition and food, and so I had a lot of success doing seminars and things like that on it. So that's the first decade. The second decade is being in China. That's a whole other story. We'll save that for another time. But that's where we're going from today. So, really the point I want to take away today, guys, is a lot of the principles that are in fitness, and if you really break it down to the nuts and bolts that will help you succeed, to be healthy, to look good, to feel good, all those same approaches will make you rich. Right? I didn't even realize that when the 25-year-old me that we were looking at before, at the time. I thought, you know, fitness and wealth, these are two very separate things, very different things. But as time went on, as I aged and started to realize this, I was like, wow, if I think about wealth building the same way that I think about fitness, for me it turned on a lot of green lights, you know, and I started making progress because I could think of things in small bite-sized pieces, and we'll get into the nuts and bolts of that. So principle number 1 in fitness, this is going to make your life so much easier with fitness and money as well. It's thinking of things in terms of habits. If you think of your life in terms of small routine actions, it becomes bite-sized. So brushing your teeth every day, that's not a big deal. Tying your shoe every day, that's not a big deal, right? But if we're going to say, hey, let's go run a marathon, that's a big deal, right? If you've been sitting on the couch, if you've been doing something else, you got to do that. And so one of the things, you know, in fitness that I would do with my clients, I would assess them. I would say, okay, well, can this person do a push-up? Okay, yes or no? Okay, if they can't do a push-up, we got to start, you know, maybe with a push-up on the knees, right? Where you get the knees to help you, or you got the machine. Okay, yes, this person can do a push-up. Well, in that case, okay, well, maybe let's get them on the bench press. Let's make it more challenging. So one of the mistakes that people often make in fitness is they make it too big. They go, okay, well, I'm going to run a 5K. And they haven't been doing anything, they're not trained, and they try to run a 5K, fail in January, right? Because your body's not conditioned for that. But if you make it bite-sized and you say, okay, let me start off by walking. I'm not even walking right now, let me walk. Then you're going to be able to level up progressively and by intervals, all right? And your success is going to be guaranteed that way because you're doing it at a pace and in a way that you can do it. So that's the bigger picture. So here I have some, you know, ideas about, you know, how you can do it. So like walking, right? So walking every day, that's one easy way to start getting fit. So for the fitness example, what would that be for finance? Anybody? What's a daily thing that you can do bite-sized for finance?
Write down your expenses.
Okay, you can write down your expenses. Somebody else said something?
Saving money.
Save money? Okay. All right, so there's some bite-sized things that you can do for finance as well. We'll get into that. So yeah, it's like if you make it bite-sized in ensuring that you're spending less than you're making, right? You can make it bite-sized and say, okay, every time I get paid, I'm gonna put 10% of it away. How many of you guys here have read Richest Man in Babylon? Okay, we need to have a meeting on that, but that's one of the things they talked about in there. So you could save 10% every time you get paid. You could have an investment schedule, so it's like every so often that you're investing, right? So again, it's making it bite-sized. Instead of trying to go to millionaire from wherever you're starting off, it's saying, okay, I'm going to go a bite-sized step. I'm going to invest 10%. I'm going to automate it, right? I'm going to do the automated thing for it'll do it without me even thinking about it. And so one of the other things is like, where can you add and where can you take away? So if we're adding healthy habits, one of the things you want to do is also have takeaway. So if you have a plus, you also want to have a minus. So in the example before, well, let me say it this way. Like with food, if you want to change your diet and you want to start eating healthy, a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll stop eating the pizza or whatever, but then they don't replace it with something else. So if you start to change things, you want to replace it, right? You want to say, okay, I'm taking away the pizza, but I'm adding in what?
Salad.
Something else. I'm sorry?
A salad.
Okay, a salad or whatever. So that's the same thing that you can do with your finances. All right, so principle number 2, tracking. So anything that you track is going to improve. Anything that you neglect has a tendency to degrade, to get worse. So are you tracking your finances? In fitness, this is where you're tracking your calories, or you're doing a food journal, you're writing down what you're eating. You know, for a lot of people, if they've never done that before, it can be really insightful because they go, oh, I didn't realize that I have 3 beers, 3 times a week. Oh, I didn't realize that I was eating out 4 times a week. That awareness can really help you to be aware of what you're doing and what you're putting in your body. So tracking is the same way that you can do for your finances. And again, the whole thing is, where's my money going, right? What's coming in? What's going out? What are my spending patterns? What are my habits, right? So the clearer that you are about what you're doing, the more that you can improve it and the more you can make changes. Okay? Okay, got ahead of myself a little bit, so that's what I was saying. It's like, where's your money going? And then, like for business owners, who's your best customer, right? How many of you guys know who your best customer is? Who's spending the most money with you? Okay, very good. If you haven't, that's something to think about. That can really, you can then spend marketing money wiser. You can direct advertising a little bit more sharply. Question for you guys: what are some of the ways that you can track your finances?
P&Ls.
Okay, doing like P&Ls, have an accounting system.
Checking your bank statements.
Bank statements. Okay. Yeah. How many use what is it? Like the
QuickBooks.
apps.
QuickBooks.
I'm sorry.
QuickBooks.
QuickBooks. Okay, so yeah, there's some apps that will do it for you. At CU, we use the family budget to help clients get an idea of how the money is being spent. This is also a part of what we do for loan readiness. So if somebody comes in and say, hey, I want a loan, the first thing that we look at is, how are you doing personally? So a lot of times people see business and personal separate, but a lot of those habits, back to our first principle, a lot of those habits that somebody has in their personal life tend to bleed over to their business life. And so if they're managing money kind of loosely personally, well then they tend to manage it similarly in the business. So what we found is the secret to business and personal finance success is cash flow is king. If you're a queen, cash flow is queen. And so many times when we're doing those family budgets, we have clients do the math for the first time and they're in the red. Okay? So if you've never done this, I highly recommend doing this and getting a sense of where you are. Back to our fitness example, if you've never done a food diary or ever got a sense of what your regular calories are, right? Your calories in versus your calories out is going to determine your weight. So it's the same exact thing. If you start tracking it, you're going to be able to know if you're in the red or if you're in the green. So this leads to stability. So one of the things that I tell my clients over and over again, and Eric, I'm sure is probably tired of hearing this, but you got to build your financial brick house. Okay? So a lot of people come in for loans and they feel like if I just have $50,000, this business would be a success, right? But they haven't done they haven't done their numbers, and they don't know if they're in the red or the green. They're kind of in the mist, right? So if you want to have really good stability and have the foundation for your financial brick house, you need to make sure that you have good cash flow. You need to make sure that you're in the green every month, right? You need to make sure that you don't have anywhere that you're leaking money, okay? And the same way with fitness, if there's a snack that you're doing and you're saying, oh, I don't realize I'm having that much snack, those calories are adding up, and that's maybe what's holding you back from your fitness goals, right? Same thing here, same thing with finance. Get clear, get your cash flow in order, understand how it's all working, and then you're going to have a lot better stability. So when you go to get a loan and you go to work with somebody like Chris, my partner who called in sick tonight, then I don't know.
He's on his yacht, he's not sick.
Don't tell, y'all videotaped it, but let's maybe edit that part out. He likes to see that, right? The bankers, the financiers, they're wanting to see, hey, they're making money every month, it's positive, and then you know that, you don't have to fix that first, you can just move on to the next level. All right. So principle number 3, consistency. Now I hope everybody here, raise their hands, who's brushing their teeth every day? You don't raise your hand, I'm worried about you. But I really think that's the secret to financial success. I think that's the secret to fitness success, is treating everything like brushing your teeth, like tying your shoe. Okay, I just got paid, 10% is going into my savings. Okay, my savings reached 6 months. Now I'm investing it in, SPY or QQQ or Tesla or Apple, right? Whatever it is that you're into. But it's that consistency. Again, there's so much of a mindset of get rich quick, and that's what gets a lot of people, right? Same thing with fitness. You want to lose 30 pounds in one day, but it doesn't work that way. If you make small steps every day, if you save small over time, you're gonna get rich, period, right? If you go to the gym 3 times a week, if you walk every day, you will get fitter. That's just how it works. So you really want to think about everything in terms of routine. How can you make things bite-sized, small, routine, almost to the point of being boring, but where you don't even think about it, right? You're just in there brushing your teeth because that's what you do. So the way that I do it, my life hack is to put it on the calendar. So I've got one of these day planners, and in the day planner I put, okay, this is everything I'm doing the night before I sit down and say, what are the big goals for tomorrow? And I say, okay, what are my routines? My routines are, I'm going to wake up and walk every single day.
Brush your teeth.
So cardiovascular is on there. If it's Monday, Wednesday, or Friday, workout is on there. If it's, I also try to meditate or visualize, do some of that to help get my stress down. So put that on there. And then the game that you're playing is just going through and checking these boxes. You say, did I walk today? Check that box. Did I meditate today, or pray, or visualize? Check that box, right? If you treat it like that, it becomes a game that where you're checking boxes, and then you can even reward yourself. So, hey, if I check every box this month, I'm going to go on that vacation I've been wanting to go on, or I'm going to, and you'll be able to afford it too, right? If you're checking your financial boxes of savings, if you're checking your financial boxes of tracking, right? Now you're going to be able to afford that treat or whatever, and you've got just enough discipline, just enough structure in place that you're going to steadily progress to more and more success. You're going to hit your goals because now you're thinking of things in terms of progress. You're not thinking of things in terms of win the lottery, huge jump from point A to point B. Now you're thinking of things day to day to day to day. And I don't think I have a slide for this, but everybody knows the 8th wonder of the world? What's the 8th wonder of the world? Any ideas?
What, just any? A wonder of the world?
The eighth, no.
Oh, the eighth one.
The eighth wonder of the
Oh.
world, compound interest.
Oh.
Compound, so the chart, that's the chart. That's the chart where it's barely, whoosh, right? And then you're like Tesla or Apple stock and you've gone up, 2,000%.
The rule of 72.
So consistency, doing that consistent day-to-day stuff, thinking of things bite-sized, daily, what box do I need to check today? Any other ideas? Anybody have any other ideas other than I mentioned for consistent daily habits?
Just don't spend.
Don't spend it, that's not a bad idea.
Get an accountability partner.
Now, that may be on the slide in the future, but that is a great answer. You may see that, you must have a crystal ball.
Priority list.
Priority list, yeah, like on the, day planner, yeah. Okay. So if you're consistent, if you've got these daily habits, you got things in bite-sized pieces, well, then you're gonna start to build momentum. So just like I was saying before about the compound interest, just like I was saying before about the stocks taking off and getting that result, that's because that momentum is gonna really build. So instead of trying to jump from couch to 5K, now you're building momentum, now you're getting stronger every single day, you're getting richer every single day, you got your habits starting to stack up, right? So you got your list and you're saying, okay, well, I'm starting my walking habit, right? And you walk 5 minutes a day, and then that gets easy. So then you can jump that up to 10 minutes a day. And then that gets easy. So now you're at 15, now you're at 30. Now you gotta go shopping because you're a new person, right? You got a whole different outlook on life. So it's just like that. Every time you get these small daily habits, look at that, there it is, right there. Then it'll build up like that. So you start with something simple and small, and then you add it. And then you say, you know what? I need to get one of those things I saw Trent bring in. Carry this around with me everywhere. Now you're drinking water all the time. Now you got another habit. Now you're going to add something else, right? And then you're a huge snowball rolling down the mountain, and everything's easy, right? Because you got that momentum. So you want to think of your business finances like that too, and not try to necessarily. I mean, there's time and place to shoot for the moon, right? There's a time and place to make a big jump and scale up. But if you don't have this type of thinking and progress in place, then you're not going to be building up to it. You're going to be a lot more stagnant. So, I think this is said well. Crawl before you walk, walk before you run. If you approach everything like that, everything is a lot easier. It is insurmountable or too difficult, and your follow-through is going to be a lot higher. So that's what I do with a lot of my clients is make things that way, take that approach. So, we start off with, hey, can I get a loan for $50,000? I think this will solve my problems. To, okay, hey, this is, we looked at the family budget, this is where we are, let's build that financial brick house. And then let's scale that up to a mansion. So any ideas, we talked about fitness a lot with this example, what are some ideas that we could do for habit stacking with finances? Any ideas? Well, you got a savings habit, right? You start off saving 10%. We talked about that. All right, what else could you do for a habit?
Forget to pay yourself so you keep moving.
Yeah, pay yourself.
I have my, let's say I have $100 a month coming out that I no longer miss, and it goes straight to my, one of my investments. So that's kind of the way I do it.
Okay, so automated investments.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly after you've paid something off, keep that money coming out so you're not having it, putting it somewhere, so when you do have another expense, it's already been taken care of.
Okay, yeah, redirected that money.
Funds. Or when you do pay out something else, you take that and apply it to whatever the next, that needs to be paid off, so it gets paid off quicker. You're not missing, it's the same money, but you're paying out something else quicker.
Right.
Kind of like a Dave Ramsey outlook on things.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, great.
I like Dave Ramsey.
multiply that snowball.
Yeah, get it snowball.
Send that down first before
Focus
you.
on building your emergency, account, your emergency fund, so that, you have a specific fund you can go to and take money versus, using your other capital.
Okay. Yeah, so this is some good ideas. I'd say another one is to look at your bank statement every month. I know you mentioned that here earlier, but saying, hey, are all my subscriptions canceled? Am I using Hulu? No,
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
let's cancel that, you know, making sure. Okay.
I just want to cancel some stuff.
Oh, cancel buying bad food, y'all, cause I promise y'all this was taking all my money.
Yes, ma'am.
No, start cooking that.
So one thing that I experienced this week is that I signed up for something. Well, I thought I was buying something for $60. And then I got this little notice on my PayPal that said I signed up for a auto renew for $60 every 2 months. And I go, wait a minute, I didn't do that. So I was able to go into PayPal and look, and I had like this whole list of things that I had signed up for that I didn't even know. So yeah, you know, you don't know what you sign up for sometimes.
Yeah, just, and then the habit is checking, right? Just
Yes.
making
Yes.
sure you're aware, hey, where's the money going? Okay, you know, being on it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, great example. All right. So guys, this is kind of, I'd say this is a special bonus because this is something that I figured out in the fitness game that now changed my life and maybe it will change yours as well. But one of the things that I started doing when I decided to be healthy, and I had again, this kind of goes into the China chapter. This is a whole nother seminar, a whole nother thing, but long story short, I had some really bad health challenges. I was on 8 medications at age 29, and I had to change my life or die, and I made the decision to change my life. And now what happened was I started making a decision of who I was. And so when I looked in the mirror, when I went to the restaurants, I started telling myself, I'm a healthy person. And so when I would say that, I would look at the menu and suddenly I would only see the healthy options on the menu, right? And because that was my identity, that was what I started to tell myself who I was. Now, money is funny because a lot of people have hang-ups about it, right? A lot of times, the rich people are the bad people in the movie, or, you know, some of that kind of stuff. So whatever you need to do, whatever word that you need to find to make that a part of your identity so that you can thrive, that could be very beneficial to you. So if you're telling yourself, I'm a rich person, but you think rich people are bad or have like a negative connotation to it, then maybe find a different way of thinking about it, right? Or a different way of thinking about it. But for me, it was simple for healthy. And I said, I'm a healthy person. I'm a healthy person. I just tell myself that over and over and over and over again. And going into a situation with that mindset, you know, again, it's like a filter for decision making. So with finances, again, it's the same thing, right? It's finding that word. If it's frugal is the word that's good for you. I mean, maybe if you're like a big spender. If it's wealthy and wise, right? I'm healthy, wealthy, and wise. Find like an affirmation or some identity that really agrees with you, and put that mask on, put that filter on, see the world through that set of glasses, and then you'll start making decisions from that place. By the way, how many of you guys have done that with approaching fitness? That's what I thought. Like you never hear about this like at gyms or in like courses and stuff, but really like this is step one. If you start doing this, I promise you, you mix this with habits. I mean, we're not going to be able to recognize anybody in here next time we get together. So having an empowering identity can support you, right? Thinking about, okay, who do I need to be? And am I being it? Is there any places inside of myself where I've got conflict, where I'm saying, okay, rich people are bad, but I want to be rich, and I'm a business owner, but I love to spend money. Like find what that is for you and start to get clearer and clearer. One of my favorite books is a book called Psycho-Cybernetics. Show of hands, how many people have read Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz? Okay, put that one on your reading. That's a great book. In Psycho-Cybernetics, it talks about how to form a new self-image through decision, imagination, and repetition. So it's not just for kids, right? It's not just daydreaming or, hocus pocus, whatever, but actual very scientific approach to goal achievement, to identity. So a lot of pro golfers, what they'll do is they'll read books like Psycho-Cybernetics and visualize what they want to have happen, seeing themselves winning the PGA Tour. And then moment to moment, practicing putting mental pictures in their mind of how the golf ball would, go in. They got a difficult shot, they're visualizing, okay, what does success look like? So, what are the mental pictures that you're feeding yourself, and how can you improve that, right? And how can you bring awareness to what you're currently feeding your mind and what you're currently visualizing yourself as? Any questions or comments about this?
In other words, talk to yourself nicely.
That helps too.
Well, it's kind of like doing a vision board and putting all of those things that you see about yourself in the future. I had a vision board, I still have it, and I had Oprah Winfrey, I had bugs, I had a cruise ship sitting to the side, I had on the beach, I had like 300, I had lots of things on there. I've done all of those things.
All right.
Except meet with Oprah Winfrey.
Yeah.
But I never saw myself as skinny, so that's probably what I did.
Imagination is lifetime attraction, so, hey, I like that.
Yeah, again, the main takeaway, guys, is if you've never thought about it and then just bring consciousness to it, making a decision and saying, okay, I'm going to be a successful business owner. And then not wavering from that. Feeding yourself that consistently, like everything we've been talking about the whole time, right? Every day, okay, did I check that box for visualizing being a successful business owner? No? Okay, well then you don't get the prize. You didn't win the day, right? So every day you're winning that day, you're checking that box, and you start again. You get all of these things working at the same time, and you'll be completely unstoppable. So, number 6, what Miss Mabel already got to, if you have an accountability partner, your success is going to go way up. So having somebody on your side, somebody rooting for you. A lot of us that work in finance and helping these entrepreneurs, a lot of their success is attributed to just that. They're already good, they're already doing well, but having that accountability, having that support can help take them to the next level. And we've seen that over and over again. And again, with the fitness analogy, if you got somebody waiting for you at the gym, you're going to be more likely to go. That's why people pay all that big money for personal trainers, right? That accountability really helps. So what are some other ways? I mean, we at CU we do have accountability, with our clients and things like that. But in addition to that, any ideas on how or what are some other ways to get accountability in reaching your financial goals?
I think what would be a good idea is setting alarms on those key dates that, certain things need to take place with your finances. I think that'll help out.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
For
I'm using some of my clients as kind of advisors. It's kind of like, I'm in business, so I have quote unquote a board of directors per se, but I'm using these advisors to give me input. Like, what do you all want to see happen in terms of future travel? Where do you want to go? And so that I'm not making all of these decisions independently. And so it helps me have more accountability for what we're bringing to the community.
Okay, good idea.
I would say get your family involved. You're not alone. Your wife or spouse is very good accountability.
Yeah, that's true.
Somebody was saying at a conference I went to, they used their kids. Basically, it wasn't a negative punishment necessarily, but if he failed, he had to take them to do something they wanted to do. So,
Kids tell you.
yeah.
Tell you the truth.
And so as they were sitting there saying, oh, you can't do it, he was out there trying to do it. So it's, not because of your personality, but get your family involved, because you can't separate the personal and business, it doesn't work. You have to be your business.
A lot of ways, yeah.
to me, one thing that, goes along with the habits as well, but accountability is changing the things you do for your business. So like, say you get off at 6 o'clock in the afternoon, you go home, you wanna sit down and watch TV, but instead you get on some Joshua McCaffrey, some Eric Thomas, or something that's going to put some positive influence in your life, like a book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I mean, it's kind of along the same lines, I think, of what you were talking about earlier, but something that generates financial stability or gets rid of the stinking thinking,
So important.
mental fitness.
Yeah, that's good. I don't think there's much in the PowerPoint about that, but one of the things I like to do when I walk is listen to audiobooks, and actually we've been re-listening to Richest Man in Babylon. That's why that's been on my mind, but that's one, if anybody wants a recommendation of good finance book to start with, it's like 3 hours long, so it's pretty short to the point.
Or Atomic Habits.
Well, yeah, Atomic Habits, yeah. Yeah, I had this quote up here earlier.
Pounds of Stone, Joshua McCaffrey.
Okay, I haven't read that, I'll have to check that out.
There's a thing I saw a long time ago, seven things rich people do and don't do. One of the tones is they don't watch TV. They may read, but they don't watch TV.
Myron Golden is a really great person to look at on YouTube. He's been helping me out. He's very popular. What's his name? Myron Golden. I think it's him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's his name?
Okay, so guys, to summarize all the major points that we talked about today, applying these success principles from fitness, being aware of making things bite-sized, thinking in terms of habits, tracking those habits, being consistent with them, gaining that momentum, right? Doing things step by step, thinking in terms of the philosophy of progress, and then also shaping your identity, thinking about your identity, being very deliberate about that, making it match what you're trying to do, where you're trying to go, and then getting the help that you need to succeed, right? You put all those things together, again, you can change anything about your life. You can change your body, your mind, your pockets, your wallet, your bank account, all of that. So one of the question I want to ask you now, what is one action you're going to take away from today to apply today? Because again, nothing changes until you do, right? Like you've got to start with something. So what's your baby step that you're going to implement from everything that we talked about to start making progress towards something better, something more?
Tracking.
Okay.
Habits/consistency.
Habits and consistency. You got any more specific?
Again, for me, what's been helping me out is figuring out, watching, printing out my bank statements and figuring out where my money is going to the most.
And habits being knowing that every day you do something that sets into place that consistency. Because guilty of it, on a roll, do it, and then my grandkids, oh no, I ain't coming to this, I'm coming, okay, 2 or 3 days later, I'm like, okay, I need to get back on this, right? So habits and staying consistent with every day that's just happening in order to make the next thing something to happen.
And I say become aware, acknowledge it, and then achieve it.
Okay, all great ideas.
Mine is this: surround myself with people who have chosen in their own mind to succeed and not let the drags pull you down back into it.
That's a great one, yeah, that's a great one.
You are who you surround yourself with. Back to the curb. That's the same saying as goes, you're the smartest one in the room, you're probably in the wrong room.
So true.
So if you're the richest person in the room, you're probably in the wrong room.
Yeah.
I didn't hear from everybody. Now this is kind of about taking action and having discipline and stuff. So I want to hear a few more takeaways from today.
I'd say habits, definitely identify who I am and what my role is, not only in my life, but in my business as well. Don't let the negative take over. Like, no, you are this business owner, you are going to be successful, and just build myself back up and the company. But doing that, I have to have my habits in order to, where I can't let things go through the cracks of, oh, I'll do it later, or, oh man, I missed this appointment. or whatever, because that comes back to bite you in the long run too. If you miss appointments, it makes you look bad, if you're not communicating with your customers.
So again, thing about habits too is having set timeframes. When you get up in the morning, this is what I'm gonna do with this one, and then this is what I'm gonna do here. So set that habit to get done, yes, get that done when it needs to be scheduled.
You know, I'm very artistic and creative, and when I was younger, I really resisted that. I thought it would just ruin like any creativity and fun, and now it's like I think of it in terms of skeleton. So I don't want to be so rigid that it's a brick wall, right? Or it's just like there's no wiggle, there's no flow. You don't want to be so tight that you have no flow, but you don't want to be so loose that you have no structure, no skeleton.
Right.
So for me, it's like if I have that skeleton, now things can change. It can flesh out a little different than I thought it could, but that makes all the difference. It really does.
Well, that kind of goes, this was actually at the conference too, by this guy who's he's up in Dallas, but he said, human beings are procrastinators.
Oh, yeah.
You have to have a deadline. Because you look at college or high school, whatever. When do you do your paper? The night before. You might have 3 weeks to do it, but when do you do it? So if you only have 2 days to do it, when you're doing it then.
Yeah.
So you've got to set those goals, otherwise you don't have a deadline.
Yeah.
I don't think it matters what it is, whether it's, I know we're here about finances, but whether it's personal, business, anything, attitude reflects leadership.
Yeah.
So if that positive attitude is there, or the people around you that know you're having a struggle in our time, using, whether it's SBDC, whether it's financial coaching, whether it's chamber, surrounding yourself with the members, they're gonna build you up and lift you up and catch you from going, that's your leadership. It may not be the leader of your business, but their leadership in keeping you motivated.
Right.
That success to me is even if I'm not a billionaire 10 years from now, success for me is knowing that I positively have achieved what I want to do, and that's support my family comfortably.
Really?
And to me, that's worth $1 million.
Well said. Well said. Well, I think that's it for today. Our partner Chris is supposed to come and give you a little talk about lending. I'll just tell you a little bit. We have fantastic rates for rural East Texas. We can get you, I think right now they're at 3%, but again, you're going to have to confirm that with Chris. And again, it's not a grant, it's a loan. You got to pay it back, and you do have to qualify, but we are more flexible than a bank. We can overlook medical debt, we can overlook some things and make it more character driven than just straight up credit score. And what we do a lot, people come in and they may be close. Well, then we try to build them up, work together and go through the family budget, go through building that financial brick house, so we can help them build up and to where they're ready for it and they can use those funds and succeed. Because we don't want people defaulting. I mean, we're not in the business to try to seize other the assets and stuff like that. We're trying to get money into the community and trying to build it up, create jobs and expand. So if you want a loan, call Chris. Tell him I sent you. I do the consulting. I've got a couple spots maybe I can do. Happy to work with anybody. Happy to help move towards goals. You're getting this. I mean, you know that it's going to be the financial fitness. Some people are tools oriented. Some people are kind of maybe more relaxed and let you do everything. But if you work with me, I'm going to hold your feet to the fire. But your odds of success go way up. So that's it. Guys, thank you so much for everything. Thank you for coming tonight. Thank you, Chamber, for hosting us. And we'll see you on the next one.